नमस्कार। भारतीय पुनर्वास परिषद के इस नवशिखर चैनल में आप सबका स्वागत है। We welcome you to RCI's Navshikhar channel, and we continue our series of teleconferences that we have been telecasting on this channel ever since we inaugurated in October. Today, as you may be aware, we are discussing the topic of teaching of introduction to teaching of Braille, and this is part of a paper of plus relating to plus curricular activities in the programs, special education programs relating to teaching children with visual impairment. And we have in our studios with us experts from the National Association for the Blind in Delhi, and I'd like to introduce to you first Professor Tamboli, who is the Director of Education at the National Association for the Blind. And Professor Tamboli is a renowned expert, an eminent expert in the field of teaching children with visual impairment, especially in this whole area of special education. He did his master's in special education from Boston in the United States, and earlier he has had a fairly brilliant academic track record, having graduated from Presidency College in Calcutta and completed his master's in law from Calcutta University also. He is a Fulbright scholar and has more than 40 years of experience in this field, having retired recently as assistant professor from the Department of Special Education in NCERT. He was also till recently the country representative of the ICEVI, which is the International Community for Education of People with Visual Impairment. And of course, many of us are familiar with him because he is an active member of the expert committee that we have at RCI for designing curriculum relating to visual impairment. We also have in our studio Hemlata ji. Hemlata Suryavanshi ji is a special educator at the National Association for the Blind in Delhi. She has about a decade of experience teaching children with visual impairment, and has also done a fair amount of work in CBR in the context of persons with visual impairment. She's the wife of the late Madhukar Suryavanshi ji, who initiated CBR work at BPA in Ahmedabad, whom many of you may also have heard of and know about. Whereas assisted, Tamboli Saab today is assisted by Mr. Virinder Tyagi, who is a Master's in Special Education from Jamia Millia and is the coordinator of the Bachelor's in Special Education, the distance mode program that is run through the MP Boj Open University. So welcome all of you to the studio, and now I pass the baton on to you, Professor Tamboli, to discuss the topic of the day.
Well, friends, before we discuss about the details of the Braille system, I would request my colleague Hemlata ji to give a brief history about Louis Braille, how this Braille system came into existence, just a bit brief historical background. She will speak in Hindi and I'll give you an English translate as well.
नमस्कार। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है ब्रेल। तो ये ब्रेल का आविष्कार किसने किया और कहाँ हुआ और कब हुआ? पेरिस के पास में एक गांव है, वहां पर ब्रेल का जन्म हुआ 1809 में। एक साधारण परिवार में उनका जन्म हुआ था। उनके पिताजी का एक छोटा सा चमड़े का कारखाना था, जिसमें वो जिन और चमड़े का बेल्ट बनाने का काम करते थे। जब लुई 3 साल के थे, तब उनकी इच्छा होती थी कि मैं भी पिताजी के साथ में कुछ काम करूं, और कारखाने में भी जाना उन्होंने शुरू कर दिया था। और हमेशा मौके की तलाश में रहते थे कि कब पिताजी मुझे मौका दिया और मैं भी कुछ काम करूं। एक दिन उन्हें ये मौका मिल गया और पिताजी के एब्सेंट में उन्होंने चमड़े काटने की कोशिश की। चमड़े तो नहीं कटाओ छोटे हाथों से, पर छुरी उनकी आंखों में एक आंख में लग गई, लेफ्ट आई में, और गहरा घाव हो गया। उस समय चिकित्सा का अभाव था, जड़ी बूटी से उनका इलाज किया गया जो सक्सेस नहीं रहा, और दूसरी आंख में भी उसका असर हुआ और दोनों आंखों की आई साइड उनकी चली गई। उसके बाद उनकी प्रतिष्ठा को और महत्वाकांक्षी को देखते हुए वहाँ के जो स्कूल के टीचर थे, उन्होंने उसे पढ़ने के लिए अपने स्कूल में बुलाया, और फिर वहाँ के कुछ टीचर ने कहा कि ये बहुत महत्वाकांक्षी बच्चा है, इसे कहीं बाहर भेजिए जहाँ ब्लाइंड स्कूल है, और उन्हें एक पास के गांव में, सिटी में ब्लाइंड स्कूल में पढ़ने भेज दिया गया 10 इयर्स की उम्र में। वहाँ उन्होंने पढ़ाई की, और उनकी बुद्धिमत्ता को देखते हुए वहाँ के टीचर्स ने उन्हें अपने स्कूल में 9 साल पढ़ाई करने के बाद ही उनको असिस्टेंट टीचर रख लिया। जब उन्होंने अपने धैर्यता से और बुद्धिमत्ता से बहुत अच्छा काम करते थे अपने स्कूल में, उसके बाद उन्हें वहाँ के टीचर के पोस्ट में उन्हें ले लिया। जब उन्होंने अपने यंग एज में उन्हें जब फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम हुआ, उसके बाद उन्होंने वहाँ म्यूजिक पे सिखाना शुरू किया। फिर उन्हें ज़्यादा पे मिलती थी और अपना निर्वाह करते थे। इसी तरह से एक बार उस बीच में वहाँ के जो सैनिक होते थे, गुप्तचर होते थे, वे 12 डॉट का उन्होंने ऐसे कुछ लिपि बनाई थी जिसके थ्रू वे अंधेरे में भी कोई मैसेज को पढ़ सकते थे गुप्तचर लोग। उसे जब लुई ब्रेल ने देखा, लगा ये तो उंगलियों के नीचे 12 डॉट नहीं आते हैं, तो उन्होंने मॉडिफाई करके उसे 6 डॉट में परिवर्तन किया और अपने स्कूल में ब्रेल लिपि के नाम से उन्होंने शुरू करवा दिया। पर ये हमारा दुर्भाग्य होता है कि जब तक इंसान ये दुनिया में रहता है तब तक हम उन्हें पहचानते नहीं हैं, उन्हें मान्यता नहीं मिली, और उनके मृत्यु उपरांत इस ब्रेल लिपि को मान्यता मिली, जो कि 1852 में उनकी मृत्यु के बाद उसे मान्यता मिली। और आज पूरे विश्व में ब्रेल लिपि के नाम से जिसे हम जाना जाता है, और हम जैसे डिसेबल विजुअली हैंडीकैप, उससे हम अपना पढ़ाई शुरू करते हैं।
I will just give you a brief in English for my friends in the south. My colleague has told you Louis Braille was born in a very small family. His father used to work with the leather, basically technically known as a cobbler, and when he was very small, he was one day fiddling with the tools of his father, trying to cut a fat leather which he couldn't, and the scissor or needle, whatever, it went into his eyes and he lost one eyesight, one eye, and then the other was also affected. Those days he was very eager to study. He was put in a normal school, and there they had no system, and then he was put into a special school, and then he tried to learn Braille. There was a system of those people who were soldiers. They had a 12 dot system, and Louis Braille was shown that, and he says the 12 dots cannot come into the fingertips, so he devised this into a 6 dot system. And this is basically, Braille is nothing but a permutation and combination of 6 dots which can be transformed into 63 possible combinations. So this is the brief of Louis Braille. Before I start discussing this, I would certainly pay my homage to the great philosopher, the guide. He has been the guiding principle of millions of blind throughout the world. Now, what is this Braille system? I would like to show you. Basically, Braille system is nothing but a permutation and combination of those 6 dots. There are 3 dots on the left and 3 dots on the right. For our convenience, we are going to number those dots. The left hand top dot is 1, the left hand middle is 2, and the left hand bottom is 3. The right hand top is dot number 4, right hand middle is dot number 5, and right hand bottom is dot number 6. Now these are the 6 dots. Now in other words, we can also say the top 2 dots are 1 and 4, the middle 2 dots are 2 and 5, and the bottom 2 dots are 3 and 6. This concept has to be clear to each and every child. Now you can see those 6 dots. I am changing the combination of these dots. Can any of you tell me what are the dot numbers of this? Can you all see it?
So that would be 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6.
Right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6. What about this?
This would be 2 and 3.
Right. What about this?
4. Only 4.
Yeah. What about this?
1, 4, 5 and 6.
Right. So this combination, we can get 63 possible combinations by virtue of changing those dots. Now the English alphabet, of course, is very simple. It has 26 characters, and it's very methodical as well. In other words, if you know the first 10 letters, which is from A to J, you can probably write the entire alphabet from A to Z. I'll come to that. Can you show the PowerPoint of ABCD?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see the specialty of the first line, which is known as there are 7 lines in Braille. The first line is from A to J, the second line is from K to T, and the third line is from U to Z. There are many more characters which I'll come later on. Now the specialty of the first line is that we use only the top 2 dots and the middle 2 dots. That means we use dot number 1, 2, 4 and 5. I will show you the dots. A is dot number 1. PowerPoint में दिखा रहे हैं?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
B is dot number 1, 2. C is dot number 1, 4. D is dot number 1, 4, 5. E is dot number 1 and 5. F is dot number 1, 2, 4. G is dot number 1, 2, 4, 5. H is dot number 1, 2, 5. I is dot number 2 and 4. And J is dot number 2, 4 and 5. In other words, you will see that in none of the characters from A to J we have used dot number 3 or dot number 6. All the combinations are hovering between dot number 1, 2, 4 and 5.
The top 2
And the middle 2.
and the middle 2. Okay.
Right. If anybody has any questions, I would like to answer them.
Yes, we will be scrolling the television, our studio numbers at the bottom of the TV screen, and I'll just call out the numbers also in a bit. They're just coming onto the TV screen just now. 011 265 11611. That's one number. Another number is 011 265 11613. We also have a fax number 011 265 11609. This will continuously scroll this at the bottom of the TV screen, so we request viewers who are watching the program to kindly feel free to call and ask questions. They can interact directly with the experts present in the studio just now and get clarifications of any doubts that they may have. So till such time as we get any more questions, we can continue our discussions, sir.
Now, what I would do is, the first line, which is from A to J, I will demonstrate it on our pegboard over here. See, this is dot number 1. You can all see it, those 6 dots. We have those 6 holes. We fix them. The top 2 dots are 1 and 4. The middle 2 holes are 2 and 5. And the bottom 2 are 3 and 6.
I think we need to raise it a little more. Like, no. Yes.
Is this all right?
Yes.
So A is dot number 1. B is 1 and 2. As you can see it, it's on the left hand side. C is 1 and 4. D would be 1, 4 and 5. E is काफी tight है ना, 1 and 5. F is 1, 2 and 4. G is 1, 2, 4, 5. H is 1, 2 and 5. I is 2 and 4. And J is 2, 4 and 5.
Okay.
Okay, so this first line is clear. Any questions?
How would you do, this is a one alphabet, so if you had to write a word, for instance, how would that happen? How would you have to?
You see, Braille is basically, as I told you, a combination of those 6 dots, and we have a Braille writing machine which is easier for a child to operate, but the child unfortunately is taught on a Braille slate, which is more cumbersome. It's a small thing. I will like to show you the Braille machine. Machine kahan hai? Idhar. Let me face it towards there. See, for the 6 dots we have this one dot number 1, 2 and 3 on the left, dot number 4, 5 and 6 on the right, and this is the space bar. If you want to leave write 2 words, you have to leave a space between the 2 words, and this is for the changing of the line. Once you finish the line, the paper automatically goes to the next line, and this is the backspace.
So much like a typewriter, but
It's basically
appropriate for the typing in Braille.
Right. So this is the Braille machine.
I see.
Now, as I say, English Braille is very, very methodical. If you know the first 10 letters of A to J, the second line comes, the next 10 letters are from K to T. To each character of the first line, if you add dot number 3, you get the second line, which is from K to T. Now, as I told you, A is dot number 1 and K would be 1 and 3.
Okay.
Okay? If B is 1 and 2, then L would be 1, 2 and 3. In other words, the second line, each and every character of the second line from K to T has dot number 3 as common.
Okay.
It is the same as the first line. You add dot number 3 to each character of the first line and you get the next 10 characters, which is from K to T.
All right.
So A is 1, K is 1 3, B is 1 2, L is 1 2 3, C is 1 4, M is 1 3 4, D is 1 4 5. So you add 3 to it, it becomes 1 3 4 5,
Okay.
and so you get the next 10 letters.
I see.
Then you come to the third line. How do you get U to Z? It's again the first line which you have to remember. The child has to remember the characters of the first line. He adds dot number 3 and 6 both to the first line and gets the next 10 letters.
Oh, so that's
So,
a simple.
That is why I've introduced
technique,
the
yes.
English. Yes. See, A is dot number 1. U would be 1 3 6.
Okay.
V would be B plus 3 6. That is 1 2 3 6.
Okay.
Now W, you see, I am told that the French letter alphabet does not have the letter W. That's why it's not in the system. It's C plus 3 6 is X, D plus 3 6 is Y, and E plus 3 6 is Z.
Oh,
So by adding dot number 3 to the first line, which is from A to J, we get the next 10 letters K to T. That means that's 20 in number. We have 63 possible combinations. And by adding 3 and 6 to the first line, we get the next 10 alphabets. Of course, they are in other languages. The English Braille is not that much here. So it comes to 30. And then by adding only dot 6 to the first line, we get the fourth line, which is another 10. That means it's 40 in character. 40 characters is there.
so
Now,
can you just repeat the last part that you just said?
yeah. So you see the first 10 letters, which is from A to J.
Yes.
To that you can either add dot number 3, or you can add dot number 3 6,
3 and 6. Huh.
and you can as well add only dot number 6.
Okay.
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 So the first 10 letters are A to J. The second 10 letters would be from K to T.
Yes.
The next 10 letters would be, of course, U to Z would be only E plus 3 6. Then if you add F plus 3 6, then you come, all the 6 dots would be in the third line.
Yeah.
The fourth line would consist of the first line plus dot 6.
And what would those equate
They
to?
are the characters in other alphabets.
Okay, other
I would-
language.
yeah,
alphabets.
it would be in Hindi or English or Bengali. I mean in Bengali or what.
okay.
Now, can any of you tell that whether we have written this as ABCD, whether this is capital A or small ABCD?
Oh,
Can any of you answer?
not. I don't know whether there are any experts who know this.
Well, I'll tell you what. Basically, when we have to write a capital letter, we use 2 cells. One is for dot number 6, which is a sign of capital.
I see.
And after that, then the next cell, if you write A, that means it's capital A. So you are using 2 cells instead of 1.
Okay.
For instance, if I want to write capital A, the first cell I write this dot number 6, and the next cell I write dot number 1.
Okay. So this one cell with the dot number 6 marked
Mark means
is
it's
precedes anything where we want
capital,
to
right.
indicate capital.
right.
Okay.
So if you want to write capital M, then you write dot number 6 and then dot number 1 3 4.
Okay.
Okay, and for this is the capital sign. Now what would you do? Suppose if there is a word which has all capital letters, we are not going to use dots number 6 for all the characters. We use double capital, I mean double 6. Suppose if I want to write action and it's all capital ACTION, I use 2 cells for writing dot number 6.
Oh.
And then ACTION. That means the entire word, all the letters are in
capital.
capitals.
I see.
Now, how do we write numbers? 1,
that
2,
is-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. There is a number sign which is dot number 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll put it and show it to you.
And meanwhile, they can show the PowerPoint slide on numbers. also.
Right. After this is a number sign. After this, if you write A, it's 1. And after this sign, if you write B, it's 2. C is 3. Like that, from A to J, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And J is the 0. If you want to write 10, then what you write? You write this number sign 3, 4, 5, 6, and then A and J. If I write this number sign and B and E, what would it be? B is the second number,
Yeah, number 2.
and E is the fifth
Fifth
number.
number.
So that's 25.
Oh. Can you
Okay.
just repeat this as a
See, this is known
sighted
as a
person?
number sign, which is dot number 3, 4, 5, 6. After this, if you write A in the next cell, it is 1.
See.
And if you write B, it is 2. And if you write C, it is 3. If you write D, it is 4. Like that, you go up to J.
This 3, 4, 5, 6
Is a sign
is
of
like a-
number.
Okay.
That means if
It
you have this sign,
precedes- it precedes what you want to write.
Right. And if this is preceded, then the child will know this is not an alphabet, this is a number.
I see.
This is the number sign.
Okay.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. If you want to write 125, you have this number sign. Then write A for 1, B for 2, and E for 5. Okay?
Okay.
I hope my viewers, they are understanding this. If they have any specific question, I would be happy to show you answer.
Can we like for a person who's starting out
Uh-huh.
learning Braille, would you say that there are certain prerequisite skills that a person who has to learn Braille should have, whether it's with learning to write it or even read it?
Uh-huh.
What sort of
What we
skills?
do is basically the child with his small fingers, it is very difficult for him to read the small dots. So we start with this pegboard,
Like
we-
you have
Ah.
the one that you're using just
Right.
now.
and then we teach them the Braille reading skills.
Okay.
What we do is, now suppose on a piece of paper you only have one dot. How would you know whether it's dot number 1 or dot number 2 or dot number 3 or 5 or 6 or what? How would you know that? For that concept, what you do is, you have to have the 6 dots. Have the 6 dots, and then if the
And in relation to where those 6 dots are,
right.
the position of that one dot has to be
Right.
assessed.
For instance, here are the 6 dots. And if I write this would be what? Dot number? The 6 dots, this is just to understand that these are the 6 dots. This was closer to the line. So this is dot number 1.
Okay.
And if I put it in the next cell, you can make out that this is the 6 dots and it's at the right hand top. So that would be dot number
2,
dot number 4. 1, 2, 3 is on the left hand side.
4.
1 and 4 are on the top 2 dots of the 6 dots. So this would be dot number 4.
Oh dear.
And it is
I'm a little confused. Maybe we could just take this a little slower and
yeah, see those 6 dots are there. In relation to the 6 dots, you will have to find out. आपके पास वो जो ये है ना, वो दिखाइए.
Yes, sir.
हाँ, just show it in the PowerPoint.
so they have to be seen in the context of.
The spacing of the
Okay.
dot. So if it is here, it is dot number 1.
One.
And if it is here, it would be what? Dot number It's in the middle, na?
हाँ.
So that would be dot number 5. 1 4 is at the top, 2 5 in the middle, and 3 6 at the bottom.
Okay. The PowerPoint slide shows it a little. Is it differently, or maybe I'm not?
हाँ, PowerPoint में क्या है देखिए.
Actually, here after dot 1,
हाँ.
so we show here in the PowerPoint dot number 2, and then dot number 3, then 4, then 5, and then 6.
अच्छा, each dot.
Yes, sir.
So after those 6 dots, we have this. This is 1, and then show the dot number 2 position.
Yes,
The
sir.
6 dots are always there, na?
Yes, sir.
So जैसे the 6 dots are what you have shown on top, Tyagi ji.
Yes, ma'am.
The top line is all the 6 dots.
All
so
6
you
dots.
relate it to that, is
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
So,
And
this, so the one below it is 1,
Yes, ma'am.
and the next one
It's 2,
is
dot 2,
2.
Yes.
Okay.
and then
And the
dot
next
3,
one where it's at 6,
dot 3.
at 4. Sorry.
Yes.
No, dot 3 would be the left hand bottom.
This
na?
is dot 3,
Okay.
and this one is the dot 4,
Okay.
and you can see the difference between 1 and 4. You can
One
see
is
the difference.
closer to the.
One is very closer here,
Okay.
and 4 is
4 is further away. So there is a
Slightly.
space. There is a space in between.
yes.
Right.
Okay.
So-
Similarly, so you run gauges from the distance from the.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So it's a matter of considerable, would you say, practice?
The small child would understand this because he cannot see. He will understand this very well, and then he would. I mean, we should start with the brailler. Unfortunately, in our country, brailler is rather expensive, so we start with the braille slate.
Do we have a braille slate here
Yes,
with
yes,
us?
yes,
Can you
we
show
do.
us how
Yeah,
how it works on a braille,
braille slate hai.
Yes. Yes.
See, this is a braille slate. What we do is we put a paper in
Yes, sir.
between.
Yes, sir.
Paper लाइए. The paper is placed between this and it is done.
Okay,
There's
it's
a stylus?
it's sort of.
Yes, yes.
And can you show the stylus? What it looks
This is a small thing. Now those cells which you are seeing over here are basically the cells of 6 dots. Within the small, say half an inch or whatever, the blind child has to punch the dots.
Okay.
So when you punch the dot while reading, it comes on the left. So while punching the dot on the right top, it's 1.
Okay.
Because when the paper is reversed, it comes automatically to the left.
I see.
Okay?
So you write from left to right and you read from right to left? Is that how?
No, we write from right to left on the braille slate. But on the machine, we write from left to right because the dots are embossed, it comes straight up.
automatically,
Huh. Over here, the paper has to be reversed and then read.
And turned around.
So what is 1 on the right hand side becomes 1 on the left hand side while reading.
I see.
And this is a bit of a problem for a small child. The child feels that we are punching it on the right, how come it's coming on the left? It has to be shown that the paper, when reversed, the direction is changed from right to left. So this is how we write.
Yeah, could you write some?
See, I punched those 6 dots, so I think it's very difficult to show. Can you see it in those small cells?
No, we won't. But if you take the paper out, then perhaps I could just, or if
Right.
and feel it.
See those 6 dots?
Yes, I can feel.
The child will
dots
feel.
when they're raised. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that is how we write braille.
Okay.
Now, before I go into the complications of the 63 possible combinations, I would like to have some questions.
We'll have to remind our viewers, आप अगर प्रश्न पूछना चाहते हैं, because the viewers are watching from institutions wherever place,
Right.
located across the country.
Right.
And if they have any questions, जैसे कि आपके टीवी स्क्रीन पे भी हमारे स्टूडियो के नंबर स्क्रॉल करे जा रहे हैं, हम फिर से दोहरा दें, हमारा स्टूडियो का नंबर है 011-265-11611 and 011-265-11613. आप अगर प्रश्न लिख के भेजना चाहते हैं तो हमें आप फैक्स भी कर सकते हैं. हमारा फैक्स नंबर है 265-11609. तो प्लीज़ प्रश्न पूछिए, हम आपको रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि आपको ऐसा मौका मिल रहा है when you can talk to experts and raise questions and get doubts clarified, and we would encourage you to do so. So we'll keep waiting for your calls as we continue to discuss this topic today. So Bori Sahab, can we continue? As the calls come in, I will intimate you, and we'll take them as they come.
So, as I told you, you get 63 possible combinations.
Okay.
By virtue of those combination of those 6 dots, we get 63 possible combinations, which can be conveniently divided into 7 technical braille lines.
7 lines, is it? You talked about one line which is A to J, and another line which is from K to T.
Right.
And then you have a third line, which is from U to Z and
onwards. Yeah.
And
for instance, if U is 136, V is 1236.
Yes.
C plus 36 is 1346, which is X, because French letter does not have the alphabet W.
Yes. So W you have 2, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
That has been developed specifically to cater to the English language.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
I see.
And X is C plus 36. Y is D plus 36, which is 13456. Z is 15 and then add 36, E plus 36.
Okay.
Similarly, if you add 36 to F, what would be the dot numbers? What are the dot numbers of F? And you add 36 to it. What would be the dot numbers?
The dot numbers of F are 1, 2, and 4.
And to that you add 36.
1, 2, 4. I'm trying to look for. Would it be Y?
No.
No.
Y is D plus that would be that's not in the English alphabet. But you can tell me the dot numbers.
That will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. That's right.
So what would that be then?
That would be it's in the Hindi letter.
I see.
It would not come into the English letter. And similarly, G plus 36 would be what?
1,
number?
2. That will be all then.
All
1,
the 6
2,
dots.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
That 2 is not in the English alphabet.
The English letters are only from A to Z, na? So that's already covered in the 3 lines.
Yeah. Okay.
And H would be what?
1, 2, 5.
1, 2, 5 plus 3, 6.
Yeah. That will be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Right. What about I plus 3, 6?
That will be 2, 3, 4, and 6.
2, 3, 4, and 6. That's right. J plus 3, 6.
That would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right. So that's how we come to the next 10 characters. So in all we've got 30 characters.
30 characters you said, yes.
Okay.
Ha.
We have to come up to 63.
Yes.
Now.
So what would be, say, character 40 then? 31, let's say.
31 would be the first line plus dot number 6.
Okay.
To each character
1 and 6.
1 and 6. Okay. What about the second character in the
That'll be
fourth
1,
line?
2, and 6.
That's right.
Okay. Then 33 would be 1, 4, and 6.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm sure you're finding this trying to your patience teaching us.
No, that's fine. And then D plus 6.
D plus 6 would be 1, 4, 5 and 6.
Right.
Okay. And E would be 1, 5 and 6.
Right. Wonderful.
Sorry, E, that would be 35, right?
Another 5 to go. F plus 6.
F would be 1, 2, 4 and 6.
Wonderful.
Sorry,
That's right.
that would be 36.
You are a good
Combination.
student. What about G plus 6?
G would be 1, 2, sorry, that would be not G so much as 37. That would be 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6.
Right. Wonderful.
G. Then now we come to 38. Combination 38. That's 1, 2, 5 and 6.
Right. Very
Then
good.
Combination 39 would be 2, 4 and 6.
Wonderful.
Combination 40 would be 2, 4, 5 and 6.
Right. And this is actually the English W.
Ah.
The French
1,
letter does not
2,
have the.
Okay. So that's combination 40.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah, thank
We
you.
still have to go a long way.
Yeah.
23 more. Now there is something known as lower ABCD. I'm expecting some questions from these spectators. Either they are not getting the line, or maybe not many people are watching it.
That could happen, but please be rest assured that we will be continuing to re-telecast also. So let us have a good discussion at this over here.
Right.
And as and when questions come in, we'll deal with them. But for
Right.
the,
Now, as I was telling you, basically there is something known as a lower ABCD.
Okay.
Now, what do you mean by lower ABCD?
That is what is not
Well,
capital? Is
No,
that
no, that's not the A. You see, in the first 10 letters, we were using dot number 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Okay.
We were avoiding
3 and
3 and
6.
6.
Okay.
In this lower ABCD, we would avoid 1 and 4. We would make use of 2, 3, 5, and 6.
Oh, I see. All right. Okay. The lower part of the lower combination of dots.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So now A was 1. We are the lower A would be dot number 2.
2. All right. Okay.
We are not going to make use of 1 and 4, as I told you.
All right.
By not making use of 1 and 4,
We're just shifting the block,
The
to
block
the lower
of-
half
Huh.
of this.
so you get the
dot
next 10
grid.
characters from A to J.
Yes.
Lower A would be what?
1. Sorry,
No,
2.
2. What about lower B?
I need to look at.
Yeah.
Can you show me, Tyagiji? Can you show me what?
Yes.
No. Can you show me what the ABCD alphabet is?
Uh-huh.
Yes. So lower B would be 2 and 3.
That's right.
Okay.
Lower C would be
Oh, 2 and 5.
5. Wonderful. That's right.
Then lower D. How do you use the lower group then? What do they signify? What do they symbolize?
No, that's what I'm coming to that later.
All right.
So D plus A, of course, the lower A is a comma sign.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Lower B is the semicolon sign.
So these are punctuations.
Ah.
They represent punctuation.
Punctuations and something else also.
Okay.
Lower C, what would be the dot number of lower C?
I need a cue
and 5.
from Tyagiji.
Yeah.
Lower C would be 2 and 5.
Right.
Okay.
Lower D,
Would be 2, 5 and 6. Am I
correct.
right? Okay.
Lower E,
Lower E would be 2 and 6.
wonderful.
Lower
Lower-
F would be 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5.
Lower F, yeah, that's right. Lower G,
Lower G would be 2, 3 and 5, 6.
wonderful. I think you've become
I
an
was-
expert, Ketaviji.
No, I'm just reading off. I'm sure I need a lot more practice. Lower H would be 2, 3
And 6.
and 6, yes. And lower I would be 3 and 5.
Correct.
And lower J would be 3, 5 and 6.
Wonderful. So now we have come to 50 characters,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay.
The first is from A to J, the second by adding dot 3,
All right.
the third by adding 3 6, the fourth line by adding only 6, and the fifth line, which is the lower ABCD.
I see.
So far we have covered 50.
50 characters.
We've gone a long way. Still 13 more characters.
Okay.
How do we get there? There's a system. There's no system. The sixth line has 7 characters.
Oh,
Okay?
Okay.
And the specialty of them is each and every one will be having dot number 3.
as well.
Yeah. Dot number 3 would be in all the characters, but none of these characters are reflected in any of the characters mentioned above.
Okay. So
Okay.
how do we do that?
Suppose the first one is only dot number 3, which is
Okay.
nowhere.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Okay? And the second one is dot number 3 4.
3 4. Okay. So
The
you
third-
start with 3 and then you keep adding one more? Is
Right.
that how it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 3 4 5.
Okay.
Then 3 4 5
5,
6, which is the number sign as I told you.
Ha.
Then 3 4 6,
Okay. 3
and
4.
then and then only 3 6. So is this 7? Let's see.
Yeah. I suppose yes.
3
3 3
3,
4 3 4 5
uh,
3 4 5 6, then 3 6 and
3 4 6.
3 4 6. Okay.
Is that 7? 3 3 4 3 4 5 3 4 5 6 3 4 6 3 6. No, I think we are missing something else also. What is that? 3 3 4 2
Yes.
3 4 5 3 3 4 5 6 4
Yes.
3 4 6 5
Yes.
3
3 5
3 5.
6.
Yes.
5 6 is lower J.
And then 3 5, sir. 3 5. Lower I.
No, lower I. No, it will not be in the first year, ना. हाँ, हिमलता जी.
Yeah.
7 कैरेक्टर होना चाहिए तो क्या का है? 3 is there.
3 3 4
हाँ
3 4 5
हाँ
3 4 5 6
right.
फिर
कितना हुआ? 4 हुआ ना?
अभी तक तो 4 हुए हैं.
या
हाँ 3 4 6
3 4 6 या
Yes.
जी और
3
3
6.
6
और 3 5 भी तो हमने नहीं कहा अभी तक.
नहीं,
3
3
5
5 तो
ऑलरेडी लोअर
लोअर आई आ गया ना.
अच्छा, it's something that is we cannot repeat something that is already
No,
there.
right. तो ये 6th लाइन में तो 7 कैरेक्टर होना चाहिए ना. What could be the 7th one? बताओ. 3 3 4 3 4 6. हाँ 3 4 6 हमने बताया था.
Yes, sir.
जी जी.
या
3 4 6 बताया. 3 4 5 6
Can
बताया.
we cannot have 1 and 3 or
No, 1
or 2
one-
and 3?
No. 1 and 3 तो ऑलरेडी किए है.
अच्छा.
2 and 3 भी है. 3 3 4 2 हो गया. 3 4 5 3 हो गया. 3 4 6 4 हो गया.
3 4 5
3 4 5 6 5
पाँच
हो
हो
गया.
गया.
3 6 6 हो गया.
जी.
Okay.
3 6
Something is missing.
Anyway.
Anyway,
हाँ.
so this is 6.
Okay.
Now the 7th line would be all the dots on the right hand side, which is dot number 4 5 and 6.
They have to be
We will,
present.
yeah. So 4 5 and 6 say we get another, I think 6 or 7 characters. One only dot number 4 is 1.
Okay.
Dot number 5 is 2. Dot number 6 is 3.
Then
Okay.
4 5
4 5 is 4. 4 6 is 5.
5 6 is
Is
6.
6. And 4 5 6 is
7
7.
is the 7th.
Oh, that's sorry, that's right. So then the 6th line we have 6 and the 7th line we have 7.
All right.
Okay?
6th line we do have only 6.
Oh, that's right. I was somehow the other confused. It's 6th line we have 6 and 7th line we that's how the
4, 5,
50
6.
plus 6 plus 7 is equal to 63.
63. All right. Okay.
Okay.
So okay. So we've gone down the list of
The 63 possible
combinations,
characters.
possible
Okay?
combinations.
So now basically this is the system by which the blind child reads and writes. Now what has happened is, in the Braille system there are a number of visually impaired children who either do not have any vision, those who have slight vision, those who have sufficient vision. They can't read the small print, but they can read the larger print. If the letters in ink print are enlarged,
So children
that
with
is
low
why
vision would.
I have introduced this large print system for children who have reasonably good vision.
I see.
And but Braille is basically a thing which is extremely essential for learning for each and every blind child. What are the limitations of Braille? When we talk of Braille, what are the limitations? Number one, Braille has to be punched on a paper. It cannot be punched on a thin paper, because by punching the paper may tear off.
Okay.
We need specifically a bit slightly
Thick, like a
thick
cartridge
paper.
paper, perhaps.
Not very thick, reasonably say what is that, a chart paper
Okay.
or yeah. Now preferably a child who is taught Braille or who has got vision, we use the contrast colors. On a white paper we have black dots, so that contrast helps us.
Okay.
Himlata ji, you can probably discuss about this a bit.
जब हम राइटिंग सिखाते हैं छोटे बच्चों को, तो सबसे पहले हम 6 डॉट का कॉन्सेप्ट उन्हें देते हैं.
जी.
अगर जब बच्चा 6 डॉट करता है, सबसे पहले तो ब्रेल का इंट्रोड्यूस कराते हैं, स्टाइलस का. फिर ब्रेल पेपर पे किस तरह पेपर लगाना है, पेपर का किधर मतलब सीधा साइड है और किधर उल्टा साइड है. एक साइड थोड़ा रफ होता है, एक साइड स्मूथ होता है.
आप दिखा के हमें समझाएंगे.
जैसे पेपर है तो ये साइड प्लेन होता है, स्मूथ होता है,
स्मूथ है.
हाँ, और दूसरा रफ होता है.
जी जी जी.
तो बच्चे को बताना पड़ता है कि ये सीधा साइड है और ये सीधा साइड है और ये उल्टा. तो जब हम स्लेट में लगाएंगे तो स्मूथ वाला साइड हम नीचे रखते हैं और रफ वाला ऊपर रखते हैं.
ये दोनों साइड भी तो प्लेन हो सकता है.
जो वैसे भी जो ब्रेल पेपर आता है वो हमेशा ऐसा होगा कि एक तरफ से प्लेन होगा, एक तरफ थोड़ा रफ होगा.
ओके.
तो इस तरह से लगाना पहले सिखाते हैं. उसके बाद उनको हम कॉन्सेप्ट 6 डॉट का देते हैं. तो जिस तरह से सर ने बताया कि हम सबसे पहले पैक बोर्ड से उन्हें इंट्रोड्यूस कराते हैं ताकि वो 6 डॉट को अच्छी तरह से समझ जाएं.
और उसमें वो फिंगर की जो कोऑर्डिनेशन है,
अभी बताती हूँ मैं. फिर उसके बाद हम जब ब्रेल स्लेट उन्हें शुरू करवाते हैं, देते हैं, तो उन्हें सबसे पहला बताते हैं कि जब राइटिंग करते हैं तो राइट टू लेफ्ट करेंगे हम
अच्छा,
स्लेट में.
कारण
और ये भी बता देंगे कि एक एक सेल में 6 डॉट हैं. तो ये डॉट नंबर 1,
जी.
फिर 2, 3, 4, 5 एंड 6.
ओके.
ये जब बच्चे को हम 6 डॉट बनाने को कहते हैं और उन्हें बताते हैं कि ये जो स्टाइलस का पकड़ने का जो तरीका है, तो बाद में जैसे ब्लाइंड होते हैं बच्चे,
जी.
या आजकल जैसे स्टाइलस के कई टाइप्स आ रहे हैं. पहले एक ही टाइप का आता था जिसे वो मुट्ठी से यूं पकड़ते थे,
ओके.
लेकिन अब स्टाइलस अलग अलग किस्म के आते हैं, जिसमें ये फिंगर रखने की अलग से जगह बनी है. किसी में फिंगर अंदर भी घुसा करके रिंग टाइप का करते हैं, जिससे कि प्रेशर अच्छा हो जाता है उनका. प्रेस करते हैं तो उन्हें जब 6 डॉट करने को कहेंगे तो वो 6 डॉट ब्लाइंड बच्चा कर नहीं पाता है. वो कहीं ना कहीं कोई ना कोई डॉट को मिस करेगा. उसके बाद उसी को निकाल करके उन्हें पढ़ने को हम बताएंगे. जैसे वो बिना देखे वो लिख रहा है यूं, मैं तो पूरे 6 डॉट डाल दे रही हूँ, लेकिन वो जैसे कभी कोई डॉट डालेगा, कभी कोई डालेगा यूं यूं ऐसे उसको
जैसे
ढूंढ
गलती
ढांढ
से
के,
भी कुछ, हाँ,
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 तो कुछ भी ऐसे कर देगा कहीं पर भी। उसे जब मैं रीडिंग के लिए फिर कहूंगी कि यहाँ क्या लिखा, तो सबसे पहले बच्चा ये बताएगा कि मैम यहाँ तो पूरे 6 डॉट हैं, लेकिन यहाँ तो 3 ही बिंदी हैं। उसे तो ये नहीं पता ना कि ये क्या बना है अल्फाबेट,
जी,
तो वो ये बताएगा कि यहाँ 3 ही डॉट्स आए हैं। यहाँ जैसे कहेगा वो कि 4 डॉट हैं, यहाँ वो कहेगा कि 4 डॉट है। तो उन्हें फिर हम ये बताते हैं कि ये अब पढ़ते समय लेफ्ट की साइड 1 2 3 हो गया और राइट में 4 5 6 हो गया।
अच्छा,
ये
इसे
जब
कारण है कि
concept-
भाई स्लेट में when we write on the slate
जी,
the paper is reversed, the dot comes on the reverse side,
जी,
and when we have to read it we have to take out the paper, and what was on the right hand side automatically it's reversed on the left hand side.
जी, जी,
Okay,
जब कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो जाता है बच्चे का कि ये 1 2 3 है और ये 4 5 6 है,
जी,
उसके बाद जब बच्चे से पूछेंगे कि इसमें से कौन सा डॉट मिसिंग है, तो वो फिर बराबर इसमें बता देगा पढ़ करके कि इसमें डॉट नंबर 1 का जगह खाली है मैम, यहाँ पर 2 और 5 और 6 का डॉट
खाली,
इसमें मिसिंग है।
अच्छा,
तो ये जब वो पूरा पढ़ लेता है बच्चा, तो मतलब हम समझते हैं कि उसका प्लेस वैल्यू जो है डॉट का वो क्लियर हो गया है,
ओके।
मतलब उसको डॉट की रीडिंग आ गई है।
तो आप जब क्लासरूम में सिखाते हैं, सबसे
जी।
पहले जो एक्सरसाइज करते हैं
जी।
बच्चों के साथ, वो इस तरह का करते हैं आप करके कुछ एक ऐसे
हाँ, पहले पैक बोर्ड को दिखा करके उसे बता करके कि इसी तरह के डाट हम इस स्लेट में, और सबसे पहले हम स्लेट ही देते हैं बच्चे को,
अच्छा, स्लेट ही देते हैं,
स्लेट देते हैं
all of you
पेपर
है
लगाना
गलत।
सिखा करके। और क्योंकि यहाँ हमारे इंडिया में स्लेट के अलावा और अभी उन्हें हम कुछ नहीं दे सकते, इतना अवेलेबल नहीं है कि सभी को ब्रेलर दे, तो ये स्लेट ही पॉसिबल होता है।
जी,
फिर वो जब 6 डॉट का कॉन्सेप्ट अच्छी तरह से वो कर लेता है, पढ़ भी लेता है, लिख लेता है, उसके बाद हम डॉट नंबर 6 के साथ में, जैसे अभी सर ने बताया थी कि डॉट नंबर 1, डॉट नंबर 6 के साथ में डॉट नंबर 2 इसका रीडिंग करवाते हैं। तो जैसे 6 डॉट के साथ में किया, तो ये डॉट नंबर 1, तो ये इसके एकदम नजदीक है, डॉट नंबर 1 है। तो अब ये डॉट नंबर 2 है तो थोड़ा सा नीचे है, लेकिन है उसके पास में। अगर यही डॉट नंबर 6 साथ में 4 होता तो
वो
थोड़ा सा
थोड़ा
दूर
दूर
होता,
होता।
ये 5 होता तो
वो
थोड़ा
1 की
दूर
जगह
होता।
में गैप
या,
होता।
तो उससे उनको पता चल जाता है कि ये डॉट नंबर है कौन सा।
तो ये एक हम कह सकते हैं कि एक जैसे टैक्टाइल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन
या।
की वो सेंस हम सिखाते हैं टू स्टार्ट विद, ऐसे कह सकते हैं।
और इससे पहले सबसे पहले हम बच्चे का देखते हैं कि उनका टच ऑफ द सेंस जो है वो कितना है।
जी,
हर एक बच्चे का जो टचिंग पावर है वो बराबर नहीं होता है, वो इतना छोटा सा डॉट्स को नहीं पढ़ पाता,
उतना क्लियरली वो
नहीं कर पाता,
समझ नहीं
इसीलिए
पाता।
पैक बोर्ड यूज करते हैं हम। और ये जब क्लियर हो जाता है तो फिर हम उन्हें डॉट नंबर 1 लगवाया मैंने,
जी।
वो सही सही अगर डॉट नंबर 1 लगा लिया पूरी लाइन में,
जी।
तब मैं उसको कहूंगी कि बेटा ये तो डॉट नंबर 1 लगाया तुमने, ये ए हो गया, तो उसे बहुत खुशी होती है कि मैंने ए लिख लिया है।
जी, जी,
फिर डॉट नंबर 6 के साथ में 1 और 2 लगाने को कहूंगी उसे।
ओके,
तो डॉट नंबर 1 और 2 लगाने के बाद ही उसे मैं बताऊंगी कि ये बी बन गया,
अच्छा,
तो उसे डॉट नंबर भी याद हो जाते हैं और बी का भी कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो जाता है।
अच्छा।
इसी तरह से पूरे अल्फाबेट उसको याद हो जाता है।
जी,
और जब पूरा अल्फाबेट पूरा कर लेता है, उसके बाद हम ये सर ने जैसे बताया कि कैपिटल साइन,
जी,
कैपिटल लेटर लिखने के लिए फिर हमें क्या यूज करना है, तो डॉट नंबर 6 ओनली 6 लगा करके एक सेल में हम डॉट नंबर 6 लगाएंगे और साथ वाले सेल में फिर ए लिखेंगे। या जैसे अपना नाम लिख रहा है, वो अशोक लिख रहा है, तो डॉट नंबर 6 पहले लगाएंगे, फिर साथ वाले सेल में ए एस एच ओ और के लिखेंगे, अशोक।
तो वो डॉट जैसे अशोक लिखना है अगर
या।
किसी ने, तो डॉट नंबर वो आपने जैसे कहा कैपिटल लिखाने के
हाँ।
लिए डॉट नंबर 6 पहले उसने
हाँ जी।
एक सेल में
जी।
डाला, फिर दूसरे सेल में वो ए लिखेगा,
ए लिखेगा,
फिर
उसके
तीसरे
साथ
सेल
वाले
में
सेल
S।
में एस लिखेगा, फिर एच लिखेगा,
जी।
फिर ओ लिखेगा, फिर के लिखेगा।
ओके,
लेकिन ऐसा है कि कैपिटल लेटर लिखने के लिए हमको 2 सेल का इस्तेमाल करना पड़ता है, एक ही सेल में नहीं होगा। यदि एक ही सेल में हो देन इट इज अ लेटर, स्मॉल लेटर।
मैंने पहला सेल में डॉट नंबर
अगर
6
six
लगाएंगे,
नहीं
उसके
है-
साथ वाले में फिर
और आपने जैसे पहले थोड़ी देर पहले बताया था कि अगर ऑल कैपिटल करना है तो 2 सेल्स में
दो
6
बार, हाँ।
लिखेंगे।
इसका
Six,
मतलब
six.
हमको यदि सपोज एक्ट लिखना है कैपिटल ACT,
जी
तो 2 सेल में तो डॉट नंबर 6 लगाया, फिर A लिखा, फिर C लिखा, फिर T लिखा.
जी लिखा।
That means we are using 5 cells.
ओके
Okay.
ओके
Now we would like to have some questions from our viewers. I'm not sure whether everybody is watching this or how many of you are
अगर
watching.
इस तरह से हम सिखाते हैं तो उनको रीडिंग फिर अलग से हमें सिखाना नहीं पड़ता, वो अपने आप लिखते जाएगा और रीडिंग भी साथ साथ करेगा।
तो रीडिंग आप कहती हैं कि ऐसे सिखाने से साइमल्टेनियसली होता रहेगा।
हाँ जी, क्योंकि उसे डॉट का वैल्यू तो पता है ना कि कहाँ पर कौन सा डॉट है,
जी
इसलिए वो फटाफट रीडिंग कर लेगा कुछ भी लिखेगा तो।
अच्छा ओके। और ये आप जो कह रहे हैं जैसे ये द नंबर ऑफ सेल्स नीडेड टू राइट से अ फुल सेंटेंस, वो तो काफी लंबा होगा, तो
हाँ, तो-
how does it work? I mean, as we go along, as the child becomes more
Then
of an
अच्छा, how
expert.
to go to the next line, huh?
हाँ जी
This is a very good question you have asked. You see, हमारे ब्रेल जो स्लेट है, इसमें I think we have how many? 25 characters? 30?
30
30. And then we finish the first line, then we go to the second line.
ओके। जैसे
ठीक
आप
है।
दिखा दीजिए यहाँ
एक लाइन हमने लिखा
हाँ,
है ना,
इसमें 30 लाइन्स की गुंजाइश है।
30 cells.
30 सेल्स
30 cells in
30
one row.
alphabets.
One row. Okay.
या
जब वो लाइन खत्म हो गया तो we go to the next line.
लाइन तो 27 है इसमें
अच्छा,
स्लेट में।
जरा आप
20
ऊपर कैमरा की ओर उठा के दिखा दीजिएगा।
हाँ, अब उठा के दिखाओ ना, the viewers are seeing it.
ये जो एक लाइन में सेल्स हैं ये 30 हैं
जी
और ये लाइन जो है 27 है।
जी
तो इसमें जैसे कोई भी हम सेंटेंस लिखते हैं,
जी
सेंटेंस इसमें पूरा नहीं होता, फिर उसका अधूरा सेंटेंस हम नेक्स्ट लाइन में जाएंगे,
तो जब कंप्लीट हो जाता है तब हम
तो फिर हम फुल स्टॉप करके फिर लाइन चेंज कर लेते हैं।
अच्छा
Then go to the next line.
ओके
आपका भी जैसे इंक प्रिंट में एक लाइन खत्म होने
जी,
के बाद
जी।
यू गो ऑटोमेटिकली गो टू द नेक्स्ट लाइन.
जी जी
और ब्रेलर में वो चीज करने के लिए व्हेन इट गोस टू द एंड ऑफ द लाइन,
वो टाइपराइटर के
बजता है।
हिसाब से
हाँ,
होता हाँ जी
और उसके बाद आपको उसको चेंज कर लीजिए, पंच प्रेस द लेफ्ट हैंड की टॉप, वो चेंज हो जाएगा लाइन. एंड फिर कॉपलर जो है, कॉपलर किसको कहते हैं, मेरे को ब्रेलर दिखाइए. ये लिखते लिखते हैं, ये जब यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, खत्म हो जाएगा, यहाँ तक आ गया,
तो वो बेल बज
then
गई।
bell बंद गया, that means the line has come to an end. Then we change it, इसको खींच के हम यहाँ ले आते हैं and we change the next line. Automatically नीचे का लाइन में आ गया.
अच्छा
ठीक है.
ठीक है
So this is the brailler. Actually brailler से ही बच्चों को सिखाना चाहिए braille, क्योंकि इतनी छोटी जगह में braille dots to punch dots in a small little hole of which is not even half a centimeter, उसमें होल करने में बच्चों को काफी दिक्कत होती है. But unfortunately we don't have.
दिक्कत भी होती है और टाइम भी लगता है,
टाइम भी
इसमें
लगता है.
काफी
डॉट
टाइम।
डालते हैं
जी
और उसमें 6 डॉट एक साथ हो जाएगा एक बार में।
For instance, if you want to write B on a brailler, you have to punch both the keys together. If you over there in the braille slate, you have to punch one and then
One,
again
then
two.
ओके
So that's time consuming and it's very more cumbersome also.
But in a normal setting, in a school, in the current scenario,
Huh.
you will still have to take the use of things like braille
Braille
slates and the others to introduce
Now
it.
what we are trying to do is, in fact, I was trying to work on it. It's something known as a positive braille. Positive braille means जो dot सीधा ऊपर ही आ जाएगा, like on the braille machine.
Okay.
And we are trying to have a not very heavy, bulky, low cost model का ऐसे कुछ बनाया जाए, which could be. I had seen one
कैरी
in
करने में भी आसानी रहे ना बच्चे को।
ये
ये
जो
तो
braille
इतना
है
तो
जो है,
लेके
काफी
जाना तो
भारी
बहुत
है।
मुश्किल है ना, छोटा छोटा बच्चा अगर 4 साल का है 5 साल का है वो कैसे इसको लेके जाएगा स्कूल।
सही बात. It has to be light in weight.
So this
And,
might be an interesting area for
Research.
consideration for research. Yes, for people who like, for instance, our Media Lab Asia, with whom we have RCI has a collaboration.
Correct.
They are working in the field of research for developing appropriate devices and assistive,
Correct.
implements and gadgets which
Right,
could
right.
help and empower people with disabilities. So
Right.
this would be an interesting area for them to consider.
Yes, actually, one of my friends, he was with the National Institute of Visually Handicapped, Dehradun. I had given him this idea when I was in NCRT. He was developing a sort of a low-cost brailler, lighter in weight. Unfortunately, expired, and then the whole thing went through. But
It's something that we can consider reviving.
which would be worth considering.
Ji.
I've seen a brailler in Germany, which is known as a Margug brailler, which is slightly lighter in weight. It's very not very cumbersome, and of course there you have to change the line by changing the coupler, like as you do in a over here. You press the button, it goes to the second line.
Ji.
It doesn't happen that way in that here, but that would be very useful for the blind person also.
Okay.
I would like to invite some questions from our viewers.
No, it seems that we either our viewers are unable to get in touch with us, or because if a question comes, I will be intimated immediately and I
Right.
will relay the question to you.
Right.
We do get questions from time to time, but at this point, it's our responsibility to cover the topic as it stands in the curriculum.
Right.
And we will continue our discussions. The viewers are welcome to contact us and raise their queries. and
Do the
questions.
viewers know that today we are going to discuss about the braille, teaching of braille?
Yes, the topic is normally.
Circulated?
Okay, we have a question just as
Yeah.
you are speaking. This is good augury.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Please ask your question.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Hello.
Yes. I can hear you. Please ask
Hello.
your question. Hello.
Madam, we are calling from Spastic Society, Spast in Chennai.
Okay.
You able to hear me?
Yes, clearly I can hear you.
Yeah. You were talking about the pre-braille skills. Actually, we are in our resource room. Special teachers and others are attending this teleconference.
Okay.
We would like to know is there something called pre-braille skills?
Okay. I'll just ask the question. Sir, this question is from Spastic Society, Tamil Nadu, in Chennai.
Yes.
And they have trainee teachers who are listening in over there. And they have asked a question saying that is there something called pre-braille skills? And if
Yes.
so, what are they? Can you describe them, please?
You see, the pre-braille skills is that when a child is taught braille, braille is basically a combination of those dots, which are rather small. You know that the small dots, the child may not be able to feel the dots. So before that, we have to start with a board, this peg board as I showed you. This is the blind child can easily feel this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then the child can, after getting those big dots, then he can go to the smaller ones. And then these are the braille pre-reading skills. First, what we do is, first we show what is the rough side of the paper, which is the plain side of the paper. The child has to get this feeling. हिमलता जी आप इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए.
जैसे मैंने अभी बताया कि छोटे छोटे डॉट से बच्चे पहचान नहीं पाते हैं, उसके लिए हम बड़े डॉट यूज करते हैं. और उससे पहले भी, सबसे पहले जब बच्चे को देखते हैं कि ब्रेल सिखाने से पहले उसे प्री ब्रेल की प्रैक्टिस करवाते हैं. प्री ब्रेल हमारा होता है, सबसे पहले तो उसको जैसे कि एक्टिविटी के थ्रू करवाते हैं. उसका फिंगर्स को पहले स्ट्रांग बनाते हैं गेम के द्वारा. जैसे उनके लिए बहुत सारे हमारे पास टॉयज होते हैं जैसे जिसमें फिंगर्स का एक्सरसाइज हो जाता है, या क्ले मॉडलिंग.
I'll just translate this. Basically, आप जो कह रही हैं, that is that you introduce certain activities in the classroom setting which encourage and make the fingers stronger and
Yeah.
more sensitive,
Yes.
and make them sort of experience different kind of textures. You were talking about
Texture.
clay modeling also.
या जैसे कि क्ले मॉडलिंग या घास को तोड़ना या घास को उखाड़ना या जैसे कि रेत में
Okay, sand play, playing with grass and uprooting and removing grass from the ground. वो आप कह रही हैं, जब
घास को उखाड़ना, ग्राउंड में ले जाना,
जी।
उन्हें घास को तोड़ने के लिए कहना,
तो दो
या तो फिर क्ले के साथ में हमने मोती जैसे मिला दिया गीली मिट्टी में और मोती को चुनना है, या मिट्टी से कंकड़ को निकालना है, या आटे के साथ में हमने राजमा डाल दिया या छोले डाल दिए, उसको चुनना है, अलग करना है। उसके बाद फिर जैसे राइस के साथ में बड़ा जैसे राजमा मिला दिया,
जी।
उसको अलग उसको करना है, या छोटी मोतियां और बड़ी मोतियां मिला दिया, उसको अलग अलग करना है। इस तरह के हम लोग उनको एक्टिविटी करवाते
You
हैं।
see, what we would do
Yeah.
is, suppose in the rice,
translate, हाँ.
in the rice we have something known as rajma. I don't know what you call it in English.
Any larger grain we could use.
larger
and
grain.
Obviously much larger.
Or say
grain.
with a marble, you
Bead.
put a small bead. The child will first try to learn. Suppose on the grassy, when he goes to the field, he plucks the grass, which needs a little bit of strength to pluck it. And on a very rough paper, a sand paper, the child will feel that this is the rough side. And on a plain paper, that is how his fingers are taught to be made sensitized to the different textures of the thing. And that is basically the pre-braille skills. Before introducing those 6 dots, of course, the child has to be given those sorts of exercises.
Is it,
नहीं, उससे के
yeah.
बाद जैसे हम लोग प्री ब्रेल स्किल में ये लाइंस बनाते हैं, जैसे तो ये लाइन दिखाएंगे कि कौन सी छोटी लाइन है, कौन सी बड़ी लाइन है,
Yeah.
कितनी लाइन है एक पेज में,
Where is this? Where,
ये
okay,
दिखाएगा
She's
वो।
showing it
Yeah.
just now.
हाँ.
जैसे ये दिखाया उन्होंने कि ये 1 लाइन 2 लाइन, ये पूरी एक लाइन है। उसके बाद हम दूसरा जैसे दिखाया ये, इसमें हमने कर दिया है ब्रेकिंग है ये,
Just hold it
जैसे
up, हाँ.
यहाँ से लाइन, फिर यहाँ ब्रेक होता है, फिर लाइन है, फिर यहाँ से ब्रेक होता है, तो वो टच करके ये उसको पता लगना चाहिए कि यहाँ से ब्रेक हो रही है लाइन, या ये छोटी लाइन है, ये बड़ी लाइन है, ये वर्टिकल है।
I'll show them and I'll explain them in English. For instance, those lines you see, these are all big full lines. And in the next page you go,
No, the previous page. You have to come to the previous page now.
yeah, over here see, over here you have lines which are cut. They are small, which is a bigger line, which is a smaller line. There is a break in the lines.
Okay.
In the first page we had all long lines, and then the child will know that there is a break between the 2 lines. And then we ask them to count how many lines, first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, and then there's a break. These skills are very necessary. Before we start Braille, I think this is a very important area which I should have touched. Over here also you have the same thing. The lines are differentiated, they're made separately. Over here you have the 3 lines in the first row, and then 1 long line. Can you see this?
Yes, now this.
And then you have this 4th line. Again there's a break in the last line. The other line is again a break. So the child will feel with his fingertips where is the break and how long is the line. And that is how pre-built skill is given to the blind child.
Yeah, I'd just like to add that these lines that Himlata ji and Professor Tamboli were showing are shown in this book. It's a very interesting teaching learning material that you could consider. It's basically a thick strand of wool that has been sort of sewn onto the page and pasted on so that it doesn't move later. It's sewn from one side and taken out on the other side, so you can do something similar, sort of use similar locally easily available materials and prepare such TLMs at your end,
Right.
so that children
Teaching
can,
learning material.
Ji, ji, ji.
Okay.
So
I'm
that's
glad.
one question. I hope you're happy, Professor Tamboli. At least somebody is listening, and
Yeah,
all the way in
right.
Chennai, in Tamil Nadu, they are
And
watching
I
us.
know that the spastic children, they have this specific problem with their fingertips and all. They need to learn this pre-braille skill and then go on to
A
the
lot
braille
of them, and
system.
yeah, I think it's useful for all children. Actually, it's a fine development of your fine motor abilities.
Yeah.
And as Hemlata ji described, there were some interesting things you could do, like putting large grains of rajma in a bowl of rice and asking the children to play, or putting big stones in a small container of sand maybe, and asking children to simply sort them out.
Right.
And the other thing that you mentioned of plucking grass, which helps develop that pincer grass, and clay modeling also, yes, that you mentioned. So these are all interesting pre-braille skills. What about this is to be able to write braille? Would these skills also
by
help
these
you to
things, by
read
these
as well?
skills, the finger, the fingers of the small child,
Ji.
it gets his strength and momentum, and then
Reading and
he is
writing
competent to
It
hold
helps in
the
both.
Yeah.
stylus and then or punch the dots.
Okay. So yeah, so for writing it would be to the ability to hold the
Right.
stylus and to put the pressure, and
Yes.
for reading to be able to discern the position of the
Right,
dot,
right,
kahan
right.
pe hai, and
Correct.
to read accordingly. Okay.
Right.
Okay. What about this? When you say there is a point in the in the curriculum which says preparation of worksheets, for instance. आप जो कह रहे थे, this would be basically the position and putting it in the right way, which you described earlier, rough side, smooth side,
Right.
and understanding that. Is that
Right, yeah.
what it refers to?
You see, first of all, the child they'll see a paper could either be plain on both sides, or it can be plain on one side, rough on the other side. The child will be able to feel and say, this is the rough side and this is the plain side.
Ji.
That's how his tactual power is, getting momentum.
Okay.
It's gained.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I would like to know how could, say, there's a mention of using like a flashcard now.
हाँ
Yeah.
How would you use?
हाँ हेमलता जी उसके बारे में
या फ्लश कार्ड को भी हम प्री ब्रेल का ही एक पार्ट मानते हैं।
जी।
उसमें भी अलग अलग टेक्सचर्स बनाते हैं, जैसे
अच्छा,
कि-
जैसे आपने अभी दिखाया ये जो वुल की
वुल की लाइन है,
थी।
उसी तरह से ब्रेल में जैसे हमने यहाँ पूरा फर्स्ट लाइन में 6 डॉट डाला,
जी।
उसके बाद 1 1 1 1 1 डॉट डाला,
जी।
दूसरी लाइन में 6 डॉट के साथ में डॉट नंबर 2 2 डाला,
जी।
तो उसका जो डिस्टेंस है वो बच्चा बताएगा।
ओके।
या कि 2 5 की लाइन बनाई हमने, या 1 4 की लाइन बनाई, या 3 6 की लाइन बनाई,
ओके।
तो उससे 6 डॉट के साथ में रहेगा तो डिस्टेंस को समझेगा वो कि ये 3 6 है, या ये 2 5 है, या ये 1 4 की लाइन है।
See, when you
जैसे
talk of
कभी हम जी की लाइन भी बनवाया, कभी बी से करके भी लाइन बनवाया, कभी जिग जैग भी करवा सकते हैं कि 1 2 6
जी।
1 2 6, तो जिग जैग एक डिजाइन भी बनेगा, उससे बच्चे को लगता है कि हम बहुत सुंदर हम डिजाइन बना रहे हैं। इतना तक कि हमारे बच्चे इसी तरह डिजाइन करके बहुत सुंदर सुंदर ब्रेल में हमें ग्रीटिंग कार्ड बना के देते हैं। वो न्यू ईयर का कार्ड है जैसे, या बर्थडे कार्ड है, या टीचर्स डे में हमें ब्रेल में ही कार्ड बना के बच्चे देते हैं।
Okay, so there is a feeling of doing a creative
Yeah.
activity also while learning the positions of the dots.
अभी कुछ दिनों की बात है, दिवाली के समय बच्चे आए क्लास में कि मैम आज ना हमारी मैम ने हमें सब बच्चों को दिए बनाना सिखाया, कैंडल बनाना सिखाया। मैम पता नहीं कैसे बनाया उन्होंने।
Okay.
तो मैंने कहा कि हम भी बना सकते हैं। कहते मैम हम कैसे बनाएंगे? मैंने उनको फिर ब्रेल स्लेट निकाल करके मैंने कैंडल और दिया और स्वस्तिक, ये
अच्छा।
तीनों चीज बना करके मैंने उन्हें दिखाया और उनसे बनवाया, और बच्चे इतने खुश हो गए। उसके बाद उनको मैंने कलर दिया, क्रेयॉन्स दिया, और उसके ऊपर कलर करने को कहा। मैंने कहा ये लेके कल अपनी टीचर को दिखाना बेटा कि तुमने भी बनाया है कार्ड।
अच्छा।
तो इस
वो
तरह
हमारे
से
पास वो
हम,
लाए हैं ना आप जो फिश या ये बनाने का।
और ये ब्रेल में ही बनवा करके हम दे सकते हैं। जैसे कल मैंने क्लास में हमारे बच्चों ने कहा कि हमें झंडा बनाने के लिए बोला है,
ओके
झंडा बना के लाने के लिए। तो वैसे चाहते तो हम काइट पेपर ले करके उन्हें कटिंग करके दे करके बनवा सकते थे बच्चे से, लेकिन मैंने ब्रेल में ही उन्हें बनवाया।
तो ये ब्रेल भी सीखने का एक मौका मिलेगा और एक कुछ एक
तो
क्रिएटिव
जैसे ये
एक्टिविटी।
कलर
स्लेट है, इसमें
concept का।
अब मुझे पता है कि 27 लाइन है,
जी
तो मैंने बच्चे से कहा कि फर्स्ट लाइन में बेटा कि 1-3-1-3 की पूरी लाइन खींच दो।
हेमलता जी, हम ये डिस्कशन जारी रखेंगे, हमें छोटी सी एक ब्रेक लेनी पड़ेगी
Okay.
अभी। When we come back, we will continue our discussion about how you can use the teaching of Braille to and converge it with other activities in the classroom to make it a more interesting and enriching experience for the children. So we'll be just back after a
Right.
very short break. Please stay with us.